Let's meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my July TBR. So there are so many good readathons happening right now. Like, I don't know, it feels like since 2018 there's been like this influx of creative ideas and like these really precise and intricate readathons. And it's a little bit overwhelming as much as it is exciting. So I will be doing 2 readathons, or at least attempting 2 readathons during the month of July. I really also wanted to do Jane Austen July, but like looking at the stack of books next to me, I just know there's no way. Unless I do all my Jane Austen stuff via audiobook, like it just would not happen. So we'll keep that in mind, but I have my list. It's on a Lisa Frank coloring book page, because I'm a professional, and let's talk about these books. So the first readathon that I'm going to be participating in is called Middle Grade Magic. Isn't that adorable? It is from July 14th through the 24th, so it's like a nice 10-day readathon instead of just a week. I'm mad at myself because I can't remember the hosts right now, but all the info and their channels will be linked down below, of course. So the prompts for this, there's only 5 challenges, but it's like a really loosey-goosey, easy readathon. So they're like, hey, if you read 1 middle grade book, you participated. I love middle grade books, so I'm not going to read just 1. Okay, so they have 5 challenges, but I just have 3 books on my TBR. For the 2 challenges of bending the rules, so doing something that's a little outside of what people think middle grade is, and also Reader's Choice, just a book you're excited about. I'm going to be reading Star-Crossed by Barbara D. I'm so excited to read this. First of all, adorable cover. This book is, I think it's going to rock my world. This is obviously a middle grade book about a girl named Maddie who is in the 8th grade. She's in the 8th grade. She is going to be in Romeo and Juliet. So hello. But also she kind of has a crush on this guy, but now maybe she's like, I kind of like the girl who's playing Juliet. So we have a little bi heroine, and I think it's just going to be adorable. And my favorite story device is doing a play, particularly Shakespeare, within a story. So this sounds right up my alley. And I don't think it's own voices. However, the author's daughter, I believe, is bi and identifies as bi. So I think it's going to be really sweet. For the next 2 challenges, a book that's about a serious or a taboo or whatever topic, and then a book that's in your favorite genre. Mine is obviously historical fiction. Have we met? I'm going to be reading All Fall Down, The Landslide Diary of Abby Roberts. Yes, you're reading this correctly. This is a Dear Canada book. Wow. I really know nothing about Canadian history because I am in fact American. Sorry, Canada. We just didn't learn about you all that much. So I'm very curious about this. I bought this while I was in Windsor, and Dear America books are like literally my childhood identity. They were everything to me. So I'm very excited to read this. And then of course we have this book that's going to cross over between the 2 readathons that I've mentioned previously because I'm going to be buddy reading it with Jocelyn. It's Midsummer's Mayhem by Rajani LaRocca. This is about a girl, I think, who enters a baking competition, or she likes to bake, but it says it's a loose retelling of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is my favorite Shakespeare comedy. That and Much Ado. They're very close. So I think this is going to be delightful. For the middle grade magic readathon, it's for the own voices prompt, and then I'm also going to be using it for purple on the cover for, spoilers, the reading rush. Now you know. Before I talk about the other books for the reading rush, I am going to say that since these 2 readathons don't start until the 14th for me, I am going to be trying to read in the meantime Inland by Taya Orbit. I also mentioned this in my mid-year book freakout tag. Is that the name? It feels like such a mouthful. Which I've only just started, but I'm excited to get to this, especially because it is published when? In August? August 13th. So I want to get on this. Next. Okay, so for the reading rush, I am going to try to complete all of the challenges. I have a pretty good track record with the Booktubeathon, as it was formerly known. I don't think I ever read 7 books, but I think I've like completed all the prompts otherwise, you know what I'm saying? I'd really like to try to reach 7 though. I think the most I've ever done is 5, which is very good for me, not gonna lie. So let's look at the other ones. I am going to be combining some challenges and then hopefully filling in the blanks to reach 7, you know, with some shorter things and audiobooks and so on. Oh, speaking of audiobooks, let me start with that. So for the challenge of a 5 or more words in the title, that wasn't a sentence, you know what I mean. I'm going to be listening to With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm really excited about it. I have not read The Poet X, which I know is like unbelievable because it's so popular, but this one sounds so up my alley. I know it has a teen mom, and I'm just a sucker for like a young mom or pregnancy plotline. It gets me every time, so I'm here for it. So we discussed that. We did purple on the cover. Okay, for these 2 challenges that I'm combining, a book that I meant to read last year, and then also an author's first book, I'm going to be reading Blood and Sand, so shiny, by C.V. Wick. This is a retelling. Oh, what if Spartacus was a young woman? That's what this is about. So, since And I Darken is like this kind of historical gender-swapped reimagining thing, and it's one of my favorite books, I'm hoping to really like this as well. And this was on my preschoolers pick my TBR list, so I really, really am overdue for reading it. It's not that long. It's like 200 and... okay, it's less than 300 pages. I'm optimistic. It should be like action-packed and exciting, right? I don't know. We also have a book-to-movie adaptation. I'm reading Every Day by David Levithan. I actually haven't seen this movie, so I'll have to watch it. But I bought this book so long ago. Like so long ago that the bookstore that I bought it at has closed years ago. I mentioned this in my previous video, but I'm reading the oldest books from my Goodreads TBR that I physically own. This is that one for this month. So, oh, and if you don't know what it's about, I think it's someone who wakes up every day in a different body. Crazy. All right, for the challenge of a non-human character, I actually have the perfect book. That is Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. I have also been talking about these books. I haven't read this, which is a shocker because I love Megan Shepherd, but literally the main character is like an animal that was magically enchanted to be a human girl. I forgot this was signed. I just had heart palpitations. Look at that cool art too. Okay, whew. Oh, anyways. Whoa. I'm so excited. And I think it's set in Paris, but I really know next to nothing about this, so I'm very curious. And that is all of the prompts so far. Oh, except for to read one book in the same spot every time. I think I'm going to either try to do that with Every Day, because it's probably the shortest of all of these. No, that's around 300 too. Okay. Either to be determined one of these, or when I pick an extra short book, that's where I'll do it. So I only have 3 here, plus the audiobook. But then we're going to add on Midnight Beauties. I have an ARC, thanks Goodreads, which is the sequel to Grim Lovelies. And this comes out in August as well, August 13th, same date as Inland. So obviously if I'm going to read this, I have to read the first book. So that's high priority. So that's 5 books to read during the reading rush. So I'll probably have time for a second audiobook. Then maybe I'll pick up like a play or something. That way it doesn't take up as much time. And if somehow I manage to read all of those books in 1 month, which just seems very unlikely given my track record, but you never know, then I just want you all to know that this is on my radar. The #1 video that I have received comments on during my booktube hiatus was the top 5 worst things about A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm really popular with the Sarah J. Maas fans, you guys. So I haven't lied in those comments. I've been very nice and firm with everybody because I'm a Hufflepuff, but also a Taurus. So like, I'm standing my ground, but I'm not going to be rude to you. And I told them all, you know, I will try the second book and see what I think. And I've had this in my possession for almost 1 calendar year, thanks to a very lovely special girl who lent it to me. So I should probably try to read this, but given the fact that it took me a full month to read the first book and it was shorter than this one, don't know if this will be the one that, I'm not sure this will be the month. But let's just know it's on my radar so you can all pressure me into reading it at some point. And yeah, we can know that if I get through all of this, that I could try to read it. Oh, Midnight Beauty's almost ate the dust. I'm so sorry, honey. So yeah, that is everything I'm going to try to read in July. Like I said, the audiobooks are kind of up in the air. Maybe I'll try to do like a Jane Austen themed thing there. I do have quite a few like Jane Austen retellings available to me via audiobook. I mean, obviously all of her novels are available. They're just longer. And I also have a biography of hers that I've had my eye on. So any of those could be the winner, but I will go on Twitter and have you guys vote for that because that's fun to do. Oh, sorry, that's my paper crumpling. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment telling me which of these books you think I'll enjoy most, what you're going to be reading, if you're doing the reading rush, because you guys, it's just a classic. It's like the classic readathon. It gets me excited every time. And just like, say hi. I don't care. Talk to me. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and you'll be seeing more of me soon. Bye!